podcast. My name is Anthony Cheam, life coach, speaker, trainer, person that just loves everybody, that just wants to help everybody, inspire everybody, and be a source of inspiration and love for the world abroad to every single human on the planet. Thank you for joining us today. And today's topic I'm really excited about, partly because I've been in this industry for about 20 years, 20 plus years now, believe it or not, is the health industry. And I often say to people, your number one investment is in your health, in yourself. A great metaphor for that, many of you may have heard, is if you're on an airplane, and the oxygen masks come down, you don't put the oxygen mask on your kid or your friend first. You put yours on, see to your safety first, and then see to the safety of others. That goes for your health. So the first step to claiming back your health, to claiming your life, and your health is your wealth is your health, that if you want to claim your power, clarify your purpose, and cultivate your passions in life, you've got to take care of the number one investment, and that is your body, your mind. And that is 100% your responsibility. So everyone out there, it's going to be a great show on health. We wish that each and every one today gets about 1, 2, 3 max sort of points or nuggets or pieces of wisdom that they can take home and apply to the life immediately. So thank you for joining us on this podcast, Cam. Thank you for again, being the technical savvy human being that I certainly am not. And thank you for joining us today as well. Thanks, man.
No problem. This is a really exciting topic for me, mostly because recently I've actually been getting into health more and more. I just find that energy is everything. Like, once you have that energy, you'll be able to follow through on some of these things that seem difficult. Like, the way I see it is, nobody likes working out for the most part. Like, not many people like working out. But if you had too much energy to handle, you would want to work out. You'd say, man, I need to go for a run. Like, I'm feeling good. And so I want that. I remember this one time I was at a Tim Hortons and I was really depressed and I was feeling like really down. So I took my Kindle and I went to Tim Hortons. I had a coffee and I was just reading. And I remember I had my notebook right beside me. And as I downed the coffee, I wrote down energy equals happiness. And like, when I've just felt energy, all of a sudden I wasn't down anymore. I was and like, that's a bad example because I had a coffee, but there are so many healthy alternatives to gaining that energy, having it like be clean, sustainable energy throughout the day rather than these dips and these highs. And so that's what I'm after, really. When I went to Cheam's house, what was it, 2 years ago now? You had this green drink. You were juicing, and you gave me and Brennan just a sip, and it literally felt like a shot of like cocaine or something like crazy like that. It was like it hit you instantly. I don't know what you put in that drink, but I seriously did not think it was just vegetables.
Pure love, man. Pure love, man. That's what it was, man. Well, that's exactly it. Cam, you make it an amazing point, because let's face it. Are the foods that, like, let's just use the example of nutrition. Are the foods you eating giving you energy, or is it zapping energy from you? That's that. If you really look at it, is it clogging you, or is it cleansing you, or is it providing the energy you need, a sustainable energy you need, or is it taking energy from you? It's like, if you ever hang around a lot of positive people will tend to share their energy, right? But a lot of people that are negative will tend not to share. They'll take your energy. So the toxic foods are the negative ones. They'll just take everything from your body. The nerve energy starts to dwindle. Your focus starts to dwindle. Your energy dwindles. Your passion dwindles. As you said, energy equals happiness. That's a great quote. But you know what? The reality is, there's a Vedic saying that says the subtle energy become our mind.
Sorry, can you repeat that?
Think about that.
There's a little lag.
No problem. There's a Vedic saying that says the subtle energy in our food become our mind. The subtle energy in our food become our mind. So if there's little energy in the food that we have, very little, then it becomes our mind. We're going to have little energy to use our brain to focus on what we need to focus on and what we really want, desire. But if you have plenty, bountiful levels of energy, that becomes our mind. Therefore, our brain's turned on and we're able to think clearer. We're able to expand our thinking. Our creative juices start to flow
And
much more
willpower
naturally
too, right?
Exactly. Your willpower is, by the way, a actual type of intelligence, just like IQ. Willpower intelligence, it's one of the harder things for people to master, because in reality, I often say to people, listen, a lot of people have great ideas and inspiration. They just don't have the vessel, the body for those ideas and inspiration to flow and express from, just because they're tired. I mean, Jim Rohn, Jim Rohn, for the people out there that don't know who he is, he was Tony Robbins' original mentor. And he talked about a lot of people aren't successful because, or aren't even on the pathway to success and happiness and fulfillment, simply because they don't feel good. And if you don't feel good, you're just not going to act in accordance with your highest and deepest purposes and values and needs and desires. You're just not going to. As you said, you were feeling depressed. And are you going to act proactively from a state of depression? And the answer is no. So if you eat, let's say, for example, using nutrition again, if you eat a high carbohydrate meal, like, 5 slices of pizza, ice cream, and you down a large Coke, what's immediately happens within the first 5-10 minutes of that? All that nerve energy goes to your stomach, trying to digest the food, and you have what they call the itis syndrome, right? The itis, where you just want to go to sleep. You literally just want to go to sleep. That's not because it's high in nutrition and your body's wanting to extract good nutrition from it. It's because you've overloaded your body, overwhelmed your body, and the body's going, whoa, we got to get rid of this stuff somehow to digest all these calories and finally get rid of it, because our body can't take that much overload. So in reality, I was talking to some teenagers the other day, and I gave them a sort of a metaphor for how important your inner environment is. So let's say your brain is a PS4 or an Xbox, right? And your body is the house that you are playing the Xbox or PS4 in, right? Let's say, for example, you are no longer paying your bills, your electricity bill, your water bill, and you're not cleaning your home. You're not cleaning the dishes. You're not cleaning your bathroom. And all of a sudden, toxicity starts to build up outside your home. What happens when you do not pay the bills of your electricity and hydro bill and your water bill? They shut off your electricity. What do you think is going to happen to your PS4 or your Xbox? No electricity going to the PS4. You're not going to be able to play or function at all.
Yeah, not to mention, like, there's also the idea of if your house is all clunky and stuff, you'll have trouble finding things. You'll have trouble getting around. You'll be like tripping over garbage all the time.
You got it.
You won't be able to shower, so you'll just be dirty, and you'll eventually just get sick. It's a matter of taking care of the thing that brings you from A to B in this world.
You got it. You know what the reality is, and I said, Cam, you take care of your body, you're taking care of your brain. Mm-hmm. So everyone talks about the mind-body connection. There is no connection. The mind and body are inseparably one. Deepak Chopra said that a long time ago in one of his interviews. And it really got me thinking, what you're going to do to your body, it's going to affect your brain. What you do to your brain is going to affect your body. So nutrition is a big component of health. Obviously, I'm sure we're going to talk about exercise. I'm sure we're going to talk about mindset and attitude, affirmations, incantation, all these things that go along with sort of making an integrative success program in your life, or fulfillment or happiness journey that you wish to be on. So where do you want to get started there, Kay? What do you want to talk about first?
Yeah, I've got actually 4 things that I want to talk about in health. Mm-hmm. And I'll just outline them right now. I want to talk about sleep, diet, exercise, and mindset. Those are the only things I want to talk about. So when it comes to sleep, I want to talk about convenience, because a lot of people they don't have time for sleep, or they can't sleep at the same time every night. They're midnight shift, whatever. Diet, a lot of people can't afford certain kinds of foods, right? Exercise, everybody can exercise. Unless you're unfortunately like physically impaired, you can exercise. And mindset, the whole idea you bring to the table, is it dreading what's going on, or are you excited? Because honestly, if you have nothing to live for, then you won't want to change your health. I know people who smoke cigarettes like crazy and literally say it out loud, I don't really have much to live for, so I'm just kind of enjoying this until maybe something comes along and it's really upsetting. It's really sad. And so if you can figure out, mindset should be above everything else. What are you doing this for? Because I think the invaluable resource I have is a deep desire to be better, a deep desire to affect change and create and show my creations to the world. I have a deep desire to do that. And so that desire influences me to be a better person in all areas of life. So I think, those are the things I want to cover, if you're okay with that.
Okay. Yeah, for sure. Let's talk about sleep. I can tell you, rest is the number one thing that you need to recover your body. I mean, let's say, for example, rechargeable batteries is a great example. If you start to use that rechargeable battery and you then only recharge it halfway, and then you try to put it back into your whatever piece of equipment you're using it on, it's only going to be charged halfway. But then if you just keep on using it, eventually it's going to reach point where threshold where you can't perform, that battery cannot perform at its highest level. I mean, we talk about average levels of sleep and stuff, but 6 to 8.5 hours is usually the prime number. But here's the great thing. As I started to get healthier, eat healthier, exercise healthier, and have a greater mindset, greater levels of peace and fulfillment in my life, my relationships started to get better, I needed less sleep. That's the funny thing. You ever notice that when you're unhealthy, you actually need more sleep? So, and also what affects your sleep is your belief systems. In some of my seminars, I'll ask, how many hours do you believe that you need in a day to feel like you are fully recovered? And I'll get like 5 hours, I'll get 10 hours, I'll get 14 hours, I'll get 4 hours. Yeah, there are people that say 14. I'm like, 14.
No way.
I'm like 14 hours. And then I'll say to them, okay, we have many different answers here that say a particular set of time that they need, that they believe. It's more than just a fact, it's a belief, right? So the idea is we've got answers from 4 to 14 hours. Here's the reality. If let's say you feel or believe that you need 8 hours of sleep every day, if you don't get that 8 hours, you'll convince yourself that you're tired because you have that belief that I've just got 8 hours. Now, I'm not saying over time, if you're getting 2 hours of sleep and you believe that you just need 2 hours of sleep, eventually you're going to hit tilt, right? Eventually you're going to hit tilt. 2 hours sleep is not enough. But I can also argue this there, Cam. I know of some Zen masters that I was reading about that literally meditate for 2-3 hours a day, and that's all they do is meditate. They don't even go to sleep. So, some studies have shown that an hour or 2 hours of meditation is equal to a full night's rest. I remember hearing Wayne Dyer say that one time as well, that if you're meditating for an hour of deep meditation, putting yourself into those theta and delta states for a few moments, you're getting deep, restful sleep, which allows your brain and body to work at its highest peak performance.
Yeah, absolutely. And the other thing that a lot of people don't take into account is the fact that even when you're sleeping, your mind is all over the place. Like you're still thinking, your mind is still dreaming or whatever it's doing, right? So meditation is like mind sleep. Yes, you don't get mind sleep when you're actually And so I agree. Sleep is important. It's probably one of the most important things because it takes care of everything. It takes care of rebuilding and memory and people, you wouldn't remember anything if you didn't sleep. That's when your memories are stored. Everything, your muscles and I remember there was a quote by somebody and he said you don't gain muscles in the gym, you gain it in your bed because
when you're resting. Absolutely, man.
Do you have any very, very simple sleep? I don't know how much you've looked into sleep. I personally have looked a lot into sleep, but my problem is sticking to it is tough.
Yeah. I think getting into, just like if you get into a morning ritual or a nightly ritual, I think it's the ritual that you get into that prepares you for sleep. So a lot of people have this idea that, I'm going to go look on my phone for an hour before I go sleep. That's one of the worst things you can do. And when you get up, one of the worst things you can do is go right to your phone and look at your emails because you immediately go into reactivity. And I forget what study it was, but as soon as you go into your phone in the morning, you not only do you go into automatic reaction, but what essentially happens too is over the day your productivity goes down by 30% because you're not being proactive, you're being reactive. So a lot of times what I do, I have my phone on airplane mode, and I don't even look at my phone. I literally get up, I brush my teeth, do my morning routine, I meditate, I work out, and once I'm done my morning ritual, then I'm at a higher state of awareness where I'm fully focused, fully charged, fully lit up, fully filled up, so that when I finally enter into my workspace, emails, coaching, whatever it might be, I'm fully up here. But when you wake up in the morning and you're down here and then you go to your emails and stuff, you're down here. So you're not going to be at that high level of energy and focus. You're just not going to be able to. So one of the things you can do for sleep is an hour before going to sleep, get rid of any social media. Watch this podcast, of course. No, but I mean, any type of emails or YouTube, anything like that, turn that off. Have an hour where you're just maybe have some tea, some herbal tea to rest yourself. No caffeine, like peppermint tea or chamomile tea or a white tea, anything with very little or no caffeine. Have some water. Maybe spend time with your friends or family, or have a great positive conversation, or read 10 pages of something positive. That's what I like to do. Right?
That is so powerful too, because when are you ever actually sitting down with the people you live with and having just a good conversation with them? Like one-on-one, no electronics. You're not sitting beside them while you guys watch TV. You're actually just talking, like
100%,
right?
100%.
And I remember a study talking, I mean, off topic, but I remember somebody talking about how like disconnected we are, and how just by giving like 5 hugs a day can change your life forever. Little things like that.
Got it.
So those are great steps. And I also want to mention that these 4 things: sleep, diet, exercise, and mindset, don't do them all at once, because you will like it'll crumble. You have to build one thing at once, and it just creates a foundation. So it's good that we're presenting all the information now, so that people can jot it down, and then this literally alone could take a year and a half to grow. Like there's I forget what I used to tell myself, there's never enough self-improvement to be done. There's never enough. Like it'll always, like once you improve, there becomes more things that you can improve on, and then more and more, right? So
you know what? It's just like my second book, U 2.0. Part of the reason why I called it U 2.0 is because you're always upgrading your computer, but are we upgrading our minds and our bodies? Are we upgrading our skills? Jim Rohn was told a long time ago, I remember listening to one of his audios, and he talked about, in order to take charge of your life doesn't take much. If the saying an apple a day keeps the doctor away, if that's true, that's really easy. What if an apple a day keeps the doctor away? What if that were actually true? And what he said following that was so brilliant. He said, the reason why that's true is because it's easy to do, but equally, it's easy not to do. It's easy to walk 10 minutes, but it's also easy not to walk 10 minutes. So people don't look at the small steps. People are looking from some giant step they got to take. No, starting small, one activity. As you said, don't try to master all 4. Maybe get up 15 minutes prior to, let's say you're used to getting up at 7, get up at 6:45 and read 5 pages of some self-improvement book. That's it. That's all you got to do. Let's start there. And then you slowly start to build momentum in the right, proper direction. All it takes is one action. A pebble in the pond, boom, it doesn't stop there. As soon as it starts rippling to the ends of the river or the ends of the pond there. And one thing I want to emphasize too, when talking about, mastering habits and daily habits and taking command of your life is just master one small thing every single day. That's it. Right? If you did for 21 days, all you did was wake up 15 minutes earlier, and then you decide to read 5 pages of some self-improvement book or self-help book or whatever it is that you're reading. Imagine you did that for 21 days. That is absolutely amazing. In fact, I'm getting off topic here, Cam, but I just thought about this right now. 4 questions I want to ask the audience right now. Number 1, the question is and I'm asking you, Cam, you answer for me. Is there something you can do in the next 21 days that in your personal life, your professional life, and your health and your relationships that you could do in the next 21 days that could make those areas worse?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Right. Okay. Question number 2, is there something that you can do in the next 21 days that could, in your personal life, your professional life, your relationships, and your health, that could improve your health and improve those areas?
Yes.
Question number 2. All right. Question number 3. Do you believe it's your choice that you can either do question number 1 or question number 2?
Yes, it is my choice.
Yes. Do you also believe that every choice you make has an equal reaction or an end result?
Yes.
Yes. So every action, there's a reaction.
Yeah.
So, and you saying yes to all 4, basically what you said to me is this: from this day forth to 21 days from now, you are absolute command of your health, your relationships, your personal life and professional life, based on the choices you make in believing that your choices do affect your destiny. That's and let me tell you something. That's a powerful result or powerful thought process to go, wait, if in 21 days I can either make my life worse or better, and it's my choice, man, that's powerful. That's the good news and the bad news, right? So let's start with their health there. So I just thought I just came with that right now, just thinking about that.
No, I love that. That's going on the Instagram. That has to. No, that's so great. And I think another thing is, like, again, people have to have a reason to improve. Because I feel like everybody's a lot smarter than we give ourselves credit. Mm-hmm. And they know, they just don't have that reason. Like, the reason is so important. Like, I honestly have a feeling this whole health thing is going to be a series.
Yeah, good. Like, I'm so glad.
We're already 21 minutes in or whatever, 20 minutes in. So,
well, dude, I want to tell you this. Here's a mission that I have, Cam. Yeah. I want to make the world better, of course. But I want to start with I want to start with Canada. We're in Canada. I want to make Canada the healthiest country in the world. Why not? Let's make that mission, right?
I feel it too. I'm not even kidding. I feel that too. Like, I have been planning on building this company as much as I can so that I can move to Toronto and have a real cultural impact. So, rather than telling people, hey, do this, do that, I would get underneath the cultural scene in Toronto, and I would be able to affect change through culture, through music, through film, through whatever, right? And so that, like, let's kick ass in Canada, man.
Kick ass in Canada. Kick ass in Canada.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay.
Right.
So yeah, we covered sleep. So, I mean, as a gist, get your the mindset going. Like understand that you don't need as much sleep as you think you do. And maybe whether you think you do or you think you don't, you're right, right? So it doesn't matter. You get to choose, basically. And it's whatever you're committed to. Because
you got it.
You can say, I'm committed to sleeping 5 hours a night. I will do everything I can. I'll meditate. I'll be healthy. I'll do this. I'll do that. But if you don't put those things in place, then 5 hours of sleep will not do you at all.
Well, you know what? The mindset, Cam, if I were to tell you my mindset when it comes to health, these are the reasons why I take care of my health, and I make sure I work out every day. I get up early, I meditate, I pray, I repeat my affirmations, and I do everything. I'm like militant about these things, is because I know, no matter how bad it gets or how bad my circumstances are, or how bad the outside world is, I know when I show up as a better version of myself, I'm going to be a better father for my children. I'm going to be a better husband for my wife. I'm going to be a better coach for my clients. I'm going to be a better trainer for my clients. I'm going to be a better speaker. I'm going to be a better author, a better musician, a better singer, a better everything. So I associate my health program with all those roles I play, that if I choose, and the key is choose to neglect my health, I'm neglecting my wife. I'm neglecting my kids. I'm neglecting my business. I'm neglecting my clients. I'm neglecting my church. I'm neglecting my community. And that's not something I'm willing to neglect, because I'm a person that has a high standard, that wants to make a difference in the world. And the one area that I need to focus on more than anything is making me better. Because the more I grow, the more I can give, the more impactful I can be in my words, in my phrases, in my music, in my speeches, in the way I communicate to people, in the way I express love, in my actions, in my behaviors. That's what it's all about. So people out there, I'm telling you, take command of this vessel, this miracle of your body, the most advanced system and computer software and hardware on the planet, in the universe, that is your body. So please, I encourage you, I really implore you, I beg you, start taking care of your mind and body, because every other area of your life will start to expand. Your relationships will start to get better. Your business, you'll start to make more money. Everything will start to get better. Your spiritual life, as it says in the Bible, it says, sometimes the spirit is willing, but the body is weak. The body is the temple for the what? Holy Spirit. If you've got a weak body, the spirit can't flow through you properly, right? Anyways, I just went off on a tangent there. So
absolutely. So, I agree. You have those reasons in place. You have your wife, your kids, your clients, everything, the world, and your deep desire to affect change on the planet. Yeah. And Canada first. But you, for a lot of people, they don't have those reasons, or they're out of sight. I feel like they're there, but like once you become better, you'll finally uncover these reasons, you'll be like, oh, that's why I'm doing this, right? So maybe it's just a matter of starting and just like pretending that the reasons are there, but you just can't see them right now. The motivation's there, you just can't see it right now. And eventually it'll come along and you'll thank yourself.
You got it.
I always think about my past self, and I always say thank you, because I've done a lot of things. I've made a lot of like amazing changes in my life that have brought me to this place. And I always look back and I'm like, thank you for doing what you did, because you brought me here, and I will do everything I can for the future me. And if you don't have those reasons, just push through until they come. And also anybody can find a reason, like at the end of the day, right? It's really easy to find. So
you got it.
So we covered on obviously mindset's going to be like the hierarchy of all of this, but we covered sleep and the importance of rest and all these things. Is there a time, because sleep isn't just the only rest, right? There's also like spiritual rest and even just like physical rest from other people. Like I don't want to just like alone time or whatever, right? And you got to find like that middle ground for yourself.
I have I mean, again, from a spiritual point of view, if you look at the Bible, even God worked 6 days and then rested on the 7th. If God needs a 7th day of rest, then then we need that as well, at least. And what I often tell people is this, is that you want to have when you're up, go hard. But when you're down, be down. Whether it be down, resting, or taking 10 minutes to just breathe, focus on breathing, or 10 minutes of present moment time with your children or your girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, wife, mother, father, whatever it might be. And oftentimes what happens, because my career, my business is all about energy and impact and having to really focus in on making a difference in my client's life, I expend a lot of energy. So I need to have that sort of rest between clients, between days where I just kind of just turn off. I do yoga, or I do meditation, or I do some breathing exercises, or I listen to some meditation audios, or I'll just sit and do absolutely nothing. And I'll just say, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for this moment right now, to be alive. And I'll just thank my heart for beating 100,000 times a day. I'll thank my food that has to digest, or I'll thank the people that mine the salt that I eat in my foods. I thank the people that made my clothes, and I'll get into that state of pure gratitude and emotional rest and awareness of all the blessings in my life. So those are types of rest that you can do as well. And you can do that while driving your car, right? That's also a mental rest. That's an emotional rest. Spiritual rest is a little different. I mean, there's meditation and contemplative prayer, or going to your synagogue or temple. I don't think you need to just go to your synagogue or temple or church or mosque, whatever it might be, but it's not where you go. It's what church lives inside of you. And in order to do that, you have to cultivate love and compassion for yourself first and foremost, and then for other people as well. So.
Absolutely. I love that. Okay, great. So is there a big recap for everything we've talked about? Do you remember?
Well, I think we covered a lot. We covered the sleep and the mindset and having reasons to get healthy and take command of your life. I know this podcast wanted to be more strategic in terms of the nutrition aspect of what you eat, the diet, and the working out.
But we'll get into that.
Oh, we'll get into. Okay, good. Excellent.
Oh, yeah.
All right, sounds good. But you know what? In terms of sleep and mindset, take care of those things first. But in order to get proper sleep, they're all connected, because the better rest you're going to get, the better mindset you have, that's going to lead to better nutrition. That's going to lead to better, exercise, higher productivity at your work, whatever it might be.
Yeah, I've honestly heard someone say that sleep is more important than exercise and diet combined. Mm-hmm. Like just like getting proper sleep, and it's not the amount of sleep, it's proper sleep. So go ahead and look into that. I mean, get rid of your phones and your screens before bed. Talk to a real human being if there's someone who you live with. Read a book if you don't live with anybody. And I guess another thing, one of the biggest tips that I heard was going to sleep with the sun. So when the sun goes down, that's the prime time to be sleeping, just because we evolved to do so. Like we're products of our evolution, right? So
you got it.
Doing that is really important. And also like and I was told also that the hours from 10 to 2, like 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. are like double XP, like they're worth 2 times more value, because that's when you're naturally producing the most melatonin. You get in the deepest, most like high quality amounts of sleep. So little things like that I've heard.
Yes, agreed. And here's the other thing. Here's the offset. A lot of people that don't get enough rest, what will they do? They drink coffee. They take these energy drinks, and what essentially happens is that you just over amplify your adrenal glands. Because I used to be like this too, where I take energy drinks and all these things. And then one time I literally crashed one day where I was taking these energy drinks or energy pills, and all of a sudden it wouldn't even, the pill I would take wouldn't actually affect me anymore, because I was so taxed that I needed to take double the amount of the energy pill to get the same effect. And then eventually you just get to the point where it's just, your body says no. And I went through a good 3-4 weeks of pure depression, just like slurring my words and not being able to move, no drive whatsoever, because I completely overtaxed my body. So just keep in mind that to limit your stimulants as much as you can. I'm a big green tea drinker. So maybe substitute your coffees for green tea, stuff like that, and no coffee or caffeine after 4 o'clock. That's just, I highly recommend that.
Oh, it ruins your sleep. Yeah.
Oh, it totally does. So you got nothing after 4 o'clock. A lot of water, of course. We'll obviously get into that.
Yeah, totally. And so we covered sleep, and the best thing I like about sleep is that you don't need money to like sleep nice. Yes. You don't need to go grocery shopping to sleep nice. So I'm actually glad we've covered this topic first. So if you're just getting into the series of health or whatever, if we're gonna have like a health kick next episodes, sleep is a good starting ground. Like, don't eat before bed. I feel like everybody knows that.
Yes,
that's just another quick thing. And also, on the topic of exercise, real quick, if you exercise in the morning, you get better sleep. Like, it's been proven hundreds of times. Like, everybody knows it. You exercise in the morning, by the time nighttime comes around, you're sleeping, you get into the deepest qualities of sleep. And it's apparently like good for your muscles too. All of that kind of stuff. Exercise
100%.
It doesn't even need to be like right when you wake up, but like before the halfway mark of the day, at least, if you can.
Get moving, right? Get
moving for sure. Like, right? I'll show you real quick. This is my this is my treadmill. And up there, it's really hard to handle. Up here is my thing, and I put my laptop up there, and so I just work while I run. And every single morning I hop on that thing, like, and it's like an instant thing. Like, I hop on, and I'm breathing, I'm moving, and it's like wakes me right up instantly. So little things like that. And don't let yourself think as well, because you'll just think yourself out of it, man. So just get up and do rather than think. So we covered sleep. That's amazing. That's I think that's great. Yeah, I think that's good. I hope people got like a bunch of nuggets, and we're gonna take nuggets from the show and share them amongst the platforms. I'm excited to get those short videos going. So that's exciting. You had some moments, some real inspiring moments today.
That's good, man. Thank you.
So go ahead and outro the show.
All right. Thank you again for joining us. I wanted to cover health and vitality and vigor, just because it's such an integral part of upgrading your life, that you could have, great relationships. You could have a great, emotional life. You could have a great job. But if you are neglecting your physical well-being, love cannot be expressed through you as at the highest level. So really do start taking charge of your life, making yourself number one. I remember one of my mentors used to always say to me, Anthony, when you take care of number one, you automatically take care of number two. So take care of number one first, your self-preservation first, so you can be a greater vehicle through which inspiration, love, creativity, and genius flow. Thank you again for joining us, Cam and audience, Facebook, and leaders and healers from around the globe. Thank you. To your continued upgrade and evolution, live it up with power, purpose, and passion.